Hallelujah. Barak, Yahweh, Allah. Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to True Talk. And today I want to speak on the pineal gland. The pineal gland. Might be saying it wrong. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or AKA third eye, as some people like to call it. The third eye, because when you look at it, it resembles an eye. And when you go back to the witchcraft of the Egyptians and you look on the walls of the pyramid, they got this eye of Horus up there. And a lot of people connect this eye to the pineal gland. And a lot of people esteem this part of the brain or body. And they kind of give it high praise and lift it up and talk about all the terrific things that this part of the body do and what it's responsible for. Now, I'm not gonna go too deep into this. I'm just gonna go surface deep and just give you my thoughts on it. But I have looked into the pineal gland and all the benefits of it. It got a lot to do with melatonin and helping you sleep. It also got a lot to do with your balance and rhythm. And it's a very important gland that's in the body. And a lot of people connect it with the mystery of the spirit. A lot of people say, once you tap in this gland, and, they got ways where if you look on the internet and read certain books that what they call opening your third eye. And basically opening your third eye is basically somehow activating this gland and making this particular gland in your brain work efficiently or work as it should. And you're supposed to tap into a spiritual realm and be able to see spiritual things and be able to have more discernment.
You okay? You need anything?
So, we got that going on. They connect this so-called gland, it's supposed to be like a mystery, and they connect it to the spiritual world. And my only question to all this is, what about the heart? This thing that beat in your chest, that pump blood and oxygen all through your body and your brain. Is that not an important organ of your body? Should we not talk about the importance of that and how that is so important to the body and life that usually when your heartbeat stops, they say you're dead? Well, how about your lungs? This pineal gland, how important would it be and how would it perform if your kidneys don't work? If your body could not, your kidneys that help you flush out waste so your body can be clean and thrive. How about just your veins that carry the blood and oxygen through your body? And I'm missing oxygen twice. Let's not talk about the importance and the spiritual meaning of oxygen. Most I say he blew his breath and Adam became a living soul. And every breath we take shows life. And when we stop breathing, usually they can announce us dead when the oxygen stops. And if we not able to breathe, uh, you have this thing where you can go brain dead. Well, when you cut off the oxygen, the cells in your brain start to die. So breathing is very important. The lungs and breathing and all this is very important. So where I'm getting with this, I got to go to scripture. And I'm going to just read this. Uh, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. We're going to start at verse 14. For the body is not one member, but many. 15. If the foot should say, because I am not the hand, I am not the body, it is therefore not of the body. Verse 16. And if the ear should say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, it is therefore not of the body. Verse 17. If the whole body was an eye, where was the hearing? Or if the whole body was hearing, where was the smelling? Verse 18. But now has Yah set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it has pleased him. Verse 19. And for they were all one member, where was the body? Verse 20. If there was all one member, where was the body? If the body was just made up of one thing, if the body was just the pineal gland, but you couldn't see or hear, then what would that perfect? Or if the body was just the brain without the eyes or just a hand, it wouldn't perfect because we all need, all these things are important to the body. But now are they members many, but yet one body? Verse 21. And the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of thee. Nor again can the hand say to the feet, I have no need of you. Verse 22. Nay, much more these members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. So he's saying the members of the body that seems to be not important or don't have no importance, they are necessary. They talk about nobody really think about that thumb. You don't need your thumb to do a lot of things. But when you cut off that one thumb, you realize how important that thumb is, that thumb allowed for us to be able to grab things and pick up things more easily. So even the smallest things, they are necessary. They used to it in the body. I'm gonna read this last verse, verse 23. And these members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. And our uncomely parts have more abundant company. Basically saying the things that in the body that a lot of times are considered less honorable, that we should give them more honor because they are necessary and important in many ways that we can't even imagine. So once again, to bring this picture up here of the brain. This brain is one part of the body, and the pineal gland is one part of the brain that is one part of the body. So everybody try to make this gland like so important, trying to praise and bring this gland up to high worship. The third eye, the third eye. And my only response is, okay, is the heart not important? Is the liver not important? Is your fingers not important? Is your toes and feet not important? Your nervous system that make you be able to feel, the eyes to see, your ears to hear. Are these things not important? So let's not lift up one part of the body to a point where we praising it. And I like this thing is just, you know, wow, without the pineal gland, you know, there would be no life. That's how some people just come up with it's worship. It's worshiping of a body part. It's making this body part become an idol to a lot of people. And a lot of people like to try to go in scriptures and try, I see a lot of Hebrews try to do this. They're the place that who that wasn't that Isaac or Jacob seen the I think it was Jacob when he seen the angels go up and down. And I think that place was called PINEAL. And they'll go to the Bible and they'll point that out and they'll try to connect that and see the Bible, the third eye is in the Bible. And if they don't go to that scripture, they'll go to the scripture where the Messiah said, if your eye be single, then your whole body be good. But if your eye not be single, the whole body is dark. And they'll say, see, he says single eye. He's talking about one eye. He's talking about the third eye. It's like, what? He didn't say nothing about the third eye, but those are some of the two structures they like to go to in the structure to try to have the structures to back up their worship of this pineal gland. But try to say, yeah, there's nothing wrong with us worshiping and trying to open our third eye and do all this because it's in the Bible. But really, it's just witchcraft and Satan work. I always say Satan, he has not created nothing. He just invent. He used what the Most High already created, and he invent evil things and turn it evil. The Most High has created all things. So Satan can only use these things and corrupt these things, like crystals, you know. He corrupted that where people are worshiping crystals. And you know that the Most High created rocks and diamonds. All this is the Most High creation. When we talk about the nature and the benefit that the sun gives us and nature gives us, just by being out in nature and walking barefoot, people take this wisdom and think they know something. It's like, oh, uh, and start worshiping the earth, start worshiping the sun. Talk about sun gazing and sitting in the sun, even though we know the sun is beneficial to the body and the earth and ground and stuff is beneficial to the body. But it's the old trick of Hasatan, where he did to Eve. How did he really entice Eve to eat the fruit? With knowledge, The tree of knowledge good told him that the Most High don't want y'all to have this knowledge. And not only this is knowledge that would benefit you that nobody know, but once you get this knowledge, you'll become like God. You'll become God, like you'll become, somewhat of a powerful deity that's in control. And a lot of people are still eating that forbidden fruit, try to become God-like and attain certain knowledge. And just as it done to Eve, it does to them. It separates us from the Most High. It makes us worship other things, worship ourselves, worship nature, worship the creation instead of the creator. And it leads to death. It leads to nothing but carnalness. Because I just got to tell you, a lot of people, a couple of years ago that, when I first came in the knowledge of the third eye and pineal gland, and I was fresh in my 20s, And there was a couple of people I used to look at, and I was all into the third eye and pineal glands. And a lot of the brothers that I used to look at that so-called open their third eye was talking about the third eye. I look at these brothers today and I'm like, what was the benefit? You know, like I don't want to throw nobody under the bus and say names, but I got to. Like one of the brothers is Pharaoh. I think he called himself Pharaoh. He was one of the main people talking about open your third eye that a lot of people looked up to. And I used to check in on him and listen to him talk. And I seen a video not too long ago of him. And this dude, he looked sick. His skin all bad looking, like his skin unhealthy. He's talking about some issue he having with his baby mama and some little female that he was having sex with. And I think he was talking about that she wasn't smelling too good in those lady parts. And she, if I'm not mistaken, he was saying that she gave him something, some type of sexual traumatic disease. And I was like, not the laws or whatever the laws they call it in Kemet, the Egyptian laws, don't they teach y'all anything about dealing with silly females and, you know, having sex and keeping yourself clean? Like this dude is really like, but people used to look up, people still do look up to him and see him as some type of dude that had knowledge. And let's not forget the polite dude. Polite, he was one of the ones talking about open your third eye and talking about his third eye was open. And I don't know, if you open your third eye, do you become a pedophile? Do you molest little children? And these are the people that are supposed to be, as they call it, vibrating on a higher frequency. And everybody else on a low frequency. And they have all these knowledge and wisdom. And it's almost like that's why the Most High, man, the scriptures, boy, that's where it's at. That's where eternal life is at. The Messiah, he said, you know, how did the Messiah put it? That the children should be the witness, that the fruits of what we do should testify against us. Basically saying, in time, wherever you do, those fruits are going to show. It may not show now, but in time, it's going to show. Those children are what you do. Whatever you do is going to produce children. And those children are going to produce children. And we're going to see the fruits of it. And now we're seeing the fruits of a lot of these dudes that claim to be Egyptians and open a third eye and have knowledge and higher power. That there's only one or two options. You either got the spirit of the Most High in you and you operating in righteousness. If not, then by the default, you serving Satan and you giving in to your flesh and you become your own God and you become your own righteousness and you just a wicked person because you can't be nothing else. You can either be righteous or wicked. And the only way you can be righteous is by accepting the Son and letting the Most High Spirit come in you and change you. If not, you're going to be running around thinking you got all the knowledge, talking about open your third eye, and you're going to become child molesters. You're going to get diseases, have baby mama problems, like a lot of these dudes. So my advice to all the people out there, stop worshiping the body. Stop worshiping the earth. Stop worshiping the creator. Stop worshiping the creation and start worshiping the creator. The one true Elohim that created all things. Worship him. Put your time and attention to him. Put your effort. All the effort that you putting in trying to gain knowledge and puff up the pineal gland and all that. Look, it's just a member of the body. I'm not saying it's not important. It got its importance. It's got its benefit, but so do the heart, the lungs, and every other part of the body. So when we look at it as not being boastful and not putting nothing on a pedestal, because that's the most I said, everything that's exalted is going to be made flat, and only him is going to be exalted. That's the only thing we should exalt. It's him and his son. When we exalt his son, we exalt him. When we exalt him, we exalt his son. And that's how you open your third eye. That's how you gain knowledge. That's how you become spiritual. That's how you know what to eat, what not to eat. And he'll give you this knowledge, and you'll take this knowledge, and you won't worship this knowledge or put this knowledge on a pedestal, but you'll just use it for what it's for. When I found out crystals and some of the benefit of crystals, I wasn't saying, oh, crystals is the answer. Oh, you know, put your trust in crystals and all this. No, I just knew that the Most High created this, and there was some benefits to it. Just like the Most High created all things, but once again, it depends on what you use it for, how you use it, and the attention you give to it. You know how I say there's a thin line between love and hate? There's a thin line between being amazed by something and actually worshiping it and it becoming your idol. So this just my thoughts on it. Hope this was helpful. Till next time, Shalom.